My Hero Academia, chapter 272, and oh my god, that was a shock. Well, not much of a shock, more like I didn't think we were gonna come back to this so freaking soon. So, remember 2 chapters ago where Shigaraki was finally starting to awaken? And then last chapter, we cut back to the mansion, and again Tamaki is standing up, saying his scent, and having this whole thing between Dabi and Tokoyami and everything. And we thought we were going to have a little more of the mansion before coming back to the hospital with Shigaraki. No, we're just jumping right in with Shigaraki. I mean, yes, I do see why it was the best thing to do here, because Shigaraki has woken up and we can't stay too far away from Shigaraki, waking up for more of the mansion, because this is too big of a thing to pass up. This is way too big to just skip over or just wait another couple of chapters, because we finally get this guy waking up and fully realizing his potential, fully transcending his powers, essentially. Now, with that long introduction to this chapter out of the way, let's continue with. Let's just get into the actual chapter. So this chapter starts off with Burnin and all the students and all the UA students and other heroes evacuating the civilians from the city, getting everyone on the shuttles and moving on. We see some stuff with the students interacting with the civilians, like Bakugo's saying that, okay, you got to get into the shuttle now. Be sure to stay safe. Stuff like that. A lady's offering him a bun. He's like, no, that'll just make my mouth dry. Hurry up and get the hell on the bus. Uraraka is being like, come on, at least accept it. And she's just saying, you just want to get buns for everyone. And stuff like that. And as this is going on, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Uraraka even notice that Deku is looking a bit strange. We do get to see some funny moments with, like, Ida telling everyone that everyone on the shuttles, now we need to evacuate. This could be a villain counterattack zone. Don't worry, we'll protect what you have here, etc. But Deku is clutching his chest. Deku is kind of clutching his chest, pretty much. And in his head, he hears the voice saying that he's coming. Very soon, he's waking up. Be careful, stuff like that. And it is going. Last time we all thought that it was Nana Shimura. I thought it was Nana warning Deku because we were suspecting that her quirk would be the next one that Deku would get. So it makes sense that he would hear Nana's voice, but no, it was the first user of One for All warning him. And this one quick speech, because this is too important to not say, because as this is going on and everyone's wondering, the first One for All user is actually telling Deku to stop him. Well, I'm just going to read it from now. The blowback will soon be here. We don't have long to speak. Free from the shackles of humanity, his power now swells. A transcendent one is coming. So that, for the previous One for All users' consciousness within One for All, is warning Deku about the coming of Shigaraki, that he's finally waken up, he's fully accepted the power of All for One, and that the blowback and everything from his initial awakening will reach their area soon. We then cut back to the hospital where President Mike is moving Dr. Ujiko away. They get out of the area where Shigaraki was. You also see Shigaraki getting up next to Exless, and almost instantly Shigaraki starts decaying everything around him. Ujiko is smiling, he's smiling in ecstasy because he's like, finally, yes. And then Gran Torino manages to grab President Mike and Ujiko right there to get away. He states that this is in fact Shigaraki's decay quirk, but it's decaying stuff that he's not even touching. It's like, we have no idea. So this is what we didn't know about Shigaraki's enhancements. So as this is going on, all the heroes see this and are trying to get away. Some heroes we even see getting completely erased, as well as the high-end Nomu. Ryukyu is getting as many heroes as she can on her back so they can fly out of the hospital. Aizawa uses his scarf to grab onto Ryukyu, but one of the high-ends ends up grabbing his leg. But almost at the same time, Crust throws one of his shields to cut off that high-end's arm to save Aizawa. And Crust just gets a thumbs up as he's being decayed away. We then cut back to the outside of the hospital, where the hospital is collapsing down, and more heroes are getting erased. One of the Wild Pussycats that can control Earth, I forgot her name, manages to try and create something to guard them, but we still see it decaying. And then so a lot of these heroes are starting to get like decayed and are dying. Buildings are collapsing. You could see the full extent of the damage. It's going to be another same thing that happened in the My Villain Academia. That's the expanse of what's going on. And all through all this, Ujiko is in fact giving a speech saying that you guys had us by surprise. You were winning. But this changes the tide of the battle. Everything you heroes built will be undone by him. And the chapter ends with them seeing, with Deku and everyone, seeing the hospital collapsing and the extent of Shigaraki's attack reaching them. Deku jumps straight to 45% one for all and does a St. Louis Air Force smash against it, telling everyone to run away. And that's how the chapter ends. So from what I can gather, also Endeavor did in fact get out of there with Mirko, another hero. But yeah, really awesome chapter this week. I'm glad we went back to Shigaraki because he woke up and he flat out instantly destroyed everything. And so many of those heroes died. Most aside, and Crust died. He only got his time to shine in this arc, and he is dead. We knew there was going to be massive casualties involving Shigaraki because how his quirk works. But yeah, that was a lot. Like a lot happened in this chapter. And the fact that the first user was warning Deku about this. With anything, we can actually see within this arc, we actually see Deku facing off against Shigaraki before the arc eventually ends. This with Gigantomachia woken up, with Destro getting his new legs, and Dabi fully embracing his power, starting to go all out, and more of the Liberation Army members of the mansion starting to, get their second wind, sort of. And with Shigaraki waking up at the hospital and taking out a massive amount of the city and heroes along the way, the heroes could actually lose in this arc. There's no way they could win. The big bad of the series has been set up so perfectly. So this arc, the only real ways for there to either be everyone will win, the villains will win, and the heroes will have to retreat, or the heroes will win, but technically kind of, take out the Liberation Army and certain members of the League will escape on with Shigaraki and Gigantomachia to try again. And it'll be like they won, but they didn't win. It could go with that. They could go that route. Because as far as I can see, that's the only two possible ways this arc could end with how everything's been set up. And I'm curious how next week's chapter is going to play out, because we can either continue with this or jump back to the mansion again. But I do think we're going to continue with everything here at in the city with Shigaraki and everything. But overall, what did you guys think? Was this a really good chapter? Did you like Shigaraki's awakened powers and how it dismantled the hospital? Leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you want me to do more of these videos. I mean, I'm obviously going to do more. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. And above all else, have an awesome day.